Okay, this video is about breastfeeding and pumping. So I have been exclusively breastfeeding. Correction, a lot of mamas, especially in the crunchy world, they say EBF is specifically not pumping, not doing anything but putting the baby on the boob. I don't consider that EBF. Obviously, yes, that is considered EBF, but I also kind of agree that I have been doing EBF as well. I pump while I'm at work a couple days a week, but that's really it, and it's breast milk, and that's all she's getting. So I am exclusively breastfeeding my child, but I also pump. So to clear up any of the confusion, I do pump, and it isn't all from the boobies. It is sometimes pumped out of my breast, but I have not substituted any formula whatsoever the first 5. Well, correction, they did in the NICU for day 1 and 2, and that was it. Let's get real. And disclaimer, I am not a lactation consultant. I am nothing close to. I'm just telling you what works for Talia, and maybe some tips that might help for you. I am going to talk about pumping, breastfeeding, how that's gone from the beginning to the very where I am now at 5 months. And let's get started. So I have been breastfeeding Talia. She has been great. We never had any latch issues, thank God. That was my big concern. She latches great. I made enough milk. Every time I pump, I usually get 3.5 to 4.5 ounces of milk, depending on when. I used to make like 6 every time I pumped, which was fantastic, but that has gone down a little bit now that she has started solids. And that we're not 100% feeding at night anymore. She just is like a comfort feed once in a while. So my supply has gone just a little bit, but I'm still completely feeding her everything that she needs, and she is getting salads twice a day, breakfast and dinner. She'll do a puree, and in the morning she'll do a puree with cereal mixed in. So oatmeal cereal mixed in. So that is our feeding situation. I am able to breastfeed her. She is a quick eater. We'll do about 10 minutes total, maybe. She sucks it right down. I've never really had issues with her feeding directly from me, other than one time she freaked out, and I think that it was just because she was going through sleep regression, and she was teething as well. So there was only one real issue where I kind of freaked out. I texted all my mommy friends and I was like, oh my God, please save me, and my doula. Oh my gosh, thank God for my doula, because I was just like having a panic attack. But that was one day and it was over. The next day was completely back to normal, so it was just all in my head. At first, it can be tender. A lot of women swear by nipple creams. I never used any nipple creams. I did get sore once from the pump rubbing on it. I used coconut oil and it worked just as good, I thought. So coconut oil is a great thing to have in your house. Talia refuses to latch in the cradle hold, which is hilarious. I am well endowed. And when I'm holding her in the cradle hold, I think that maybe it's just like too much room. So if for some reason you're having some latch issues, make sure that you're playing with how you're holding them. So still to this day, even though she's bigger and she is hilarious with her legs, she likes to lay in the football hold. Like, I don't know if you can see me, but I have to like hold her like this. And she's like through my armhole like this, and her head is here and her feet are behind me, kicking the couch or the chair or whatever. Say hi to Talia. Say hi. She's jumping around. That is just how it works for us. That's what she prefers to do. If she doesn't have her feet against something, she kind of freaks out. So the cradle hold isn't very comforting for her. Sometimes at night when she's comfort nursing, I can hold her like that and it's very sweet. Otherwise, I'm holding her head like it's, I don't know, a melon. That's just how she likes to feed. So if you have problems with latching, make sure that you're trying every which way. As for pumping, I don't really pump when I'm home with her and it's just the two of us. If I know that I have an appointment coming up or a date that I have to set aside that somebody will be watching Talia, I will purposely pump early in the morning or in the middle of the night. Reason being is that's your largest supply time, and she doesn't always eat 100% at night. She'll dream eat, but it's not like she's taking everything that I'm making. Excuse me. So it's not like she's taking everything that I'm making. if you pump in the middle of the night or early in the morning, your supply probably would tend to be a little bit larger than throughout the day or at the end of the night. Because she has sucked you dry. Obviously would tell you guys, if you know that you're gonna have a babysitter soon, or maybe you're trying to build your stash up, do it at night when the baby is sleeping and or when your supply is coming in extra. Also, make sure that you're waiting for all of your letdowns. For a long time I was pumping and I was letting 2 letdowns come. Letdown is when extra amount of milk comes through. So you're pumping and maybe a little bit or not much is coming through, and then out of nowhere it starts spurting a lot of milk. That is a letdown. Some people say they can feel a tingling sensation. Some people say it's painful. I personally don't feel anything. Sometimes my sinuses clear up. Really weird. Everyone says that it's not that, but I swear it is. So a letdown is the extra amount of milk. I was forever having 2 letdowns, and then one day I was not paying attention and I just kept my pump on me, and there was a 3rd letdown. So all this time I probably had 3 letdowns and I just didn't wait enough time to let it go. Talia usually eats and is satisfied so quickly that I didn't think that I would have to be pumping extra long, but pumping and what your baby takes is night and day. Uno momento. Okay, she's getting sleepy. Say hi. Okay, so like I said, just take your time, relax. A lot of times while I'm at work, I'll look at photos or videos of Talia, and it seems to let my letdown come a lot faster and a lot stronger. A lot of people have said that in forums and online that I've looked, so I find it to be true. It seemed to help me a lot, especially when I had a little bit of a dry period. A time of the month that maybe your supply will go down a little bit, and this is when I got freaked out. I got my period very early. Most EBF moms don't get their postpartum period for months on end. I got mine back on month 2. I'm not sure if it's because the first 2 nights she was in the NICU, she was receiving formula here and there. I was only pumping as much colostrum as I could. I don't know if 2 days would affect that. I was super surprised when I got it back, but it has been absolutely regular since 2 months, so 4 months going on now. So shocking, I know, but that's just how it's been. It's normal to lose a little bit of supply when you're on your period or just before your period. So if you notice if you regularly pump that there's a little bit less than normal, that could be why. Also, several reasons. You're dehydrated, make sure that you're drinking. I try to drink a glass of water every single pump. There's a lot of things that help increase your supply, and I'll go through that list a little bit later. So, pumping is pretty simple. It's ABCs. You can watch a video. It's really not that hard to figure out how your pump actually works. Make sure you contact your insurance provider. A lot of times the Medela Freestyle pump is provided by insurances for free. As for nursing and nursing accessories, what makes it easier? I have found that wearing a nursing bra, I am wearing one right now and I'm pretty much always wearing one, makes it a heck lot easier. I have big puppies, so they need to be supported, but if I'm wearing this under any shirt, preferably stretchy, see this shirt I'm wearing today isn't, I would be lifting this all the way up. I typically wear a regular tank top, maybe a little bit larger. I just make sure that it's really stretchy. I found a bunch of them at Forever 21 for $3. I wear a stretchy tank top and a nursing bra, and that will help me in whatever I'm doing for the day. The hardest thing to wear while you're breastfeeding is a dress. You can't really lift up your dress. So if you're wearing a dress, make sure that it's a V-neck dress. It's easy, stretchy to pull down. That's really your only option. So in the summertime, I don't know how often I'm going to be wearing dresses. I do have a couple nursing dresses just in case. But clothing wise and making sure that I am completely covered has been fairly easy and fairly inexpensive. My nursing bras are motherhood brand, and I found them at Macy's, and I was able to use coupons with them. I think they came out to be like $25 each. So I got 2 black ones and a nude one just in case when I wear whites. And that's really all I really had to invest in the nursing game. I have a few nursing tops. They don't, I mean, they help, but it's not necessary. And again, with the stretchy tank top, so you're double layered just in case you have to pull up or whatever it might be, you're double secured. Talia and I basically breastfeed everywhere. In the car, in the grocery store, at Target, walking around, at the airport, going to the zoo. We breastfed everywhere. You kind of get just more comfortable with it as you do it. Sometimes if I'm a place where it's a little bit more male dominated, more male presence, I don't know how you want to say that, but if there's more men around in general, I try to be a little bit more discreet with how and where I am, for the simple fact that I just don't want to be showing my goodies to everyone. Not that I'm embarrassed or anything of that nature. I'm just being respectful of my body and of my husband. And that's really it. As for supply, so I have had a few dips in my supply. One when I was a little bit sick myself. I had a sinus congestion, maybe infection myself, and my supply went down a little bit, and I was able to make these awesome no-bake cookies that I found on Pinterest, and they were delicious and they worked right away. The main ingredients to increase your supply is make sure that you're well hydrated and you have your electrolytes. So they say water and Gatorade. Number 2 things that you have to make sure that you're hydrated in order to make extra fluid in your body. That just makes more sense. Every morning, if I'm in a dip, I try to eat steel oats, or Insta oats even work. Oatmeal in general is really good for you, and it is known to increase your supply. Milled flaxseed. I'll show you this. My girlfriend gave me this. It has lasted forever. It's good until next month still, so I gotta use this up. This, it says right on the front, 6 grams of protein per serving, and 8 grams of fiber. So not only is it good for your milk supply, it's good for your GI system as well. I have an awesome recipe that I'll throw below that I found on Pinterest for those no-bake drop cookies. And simply you put brewer's yeast in it, which is known to increase your supply as well. Milled flaxseed, oatmeal. I substituted coconut for white chocolate chips, and honey and peanut butter. Not only is it awesome for breastfeeding, it's actually awesome for, it's like a power bar. All the protein in it is perfect. You want some milkies? Huh? You want milk? We're starting signing. And then last but not least, I was reading a mommy blogger about supply and pumping, and she had mentioned this, which is Birth Song Botanicals Let There Be Milk. It is probably the most disgusting thing I have ever tried. You put 20 drops into you're directly into your mouth, or I put it at the end of my coffee every morning, and you're supposed to do it twice a day, so I have been doing that. It says 1 to 5 times daily. I just did twice a day because whatever. And surprisingly, I saw a huge increase in my milk supply. So I was in a dip for a little bit. I was only making 2.5 ounces per pump, and I was working a ton that week. I bought this and got it in, and literally 2 days after I began taking this, my milk supply went from 2.5 to 3.5 consistently. So I definitely think that this had something to do with it. This was about $26, Prime included, on Amazon. So again, just so you can see it. And somebody wants to eat. So on that note, I hope you guys have a great day, and if you guys have any questions or concerns, please let me know. If you haven't yet, subscribe below. All right, bye guys.